Yo guys, welcome back to a brand new video here today and another episode of my F2 Formula 2 career mode here today for round number 3/part 5. I'm not quite sure how to label it, but round 3 at Spain. We have done Bahrain and Azerbaijan. We're now at the Spanish Grand Prix and this is going to be the feature race. So if you guys missed the last episode or any of the episodes so far, guys, there'll be a full playlist link in the top right hand corner of the screen. So go watch that, guys, if you have missed any of the episodes so far. But today we are here at Catalonia and we are going to take part in qualifying, more specifically one-shot qualifying in this first part of the weekend, in which this will form the grid for the feature race, which is the slightly longer race, and then we'll do the sprint race later on, which I believe I'm going to upload later on the channel, guys, later on this evening. So hopefully most of you get through this first, and if not, then yeah, you've got 2 videos to watch or 2 races to watch, so hopefully look forward to it. And yeah, will that be later on today, I think. So either way, I'll make sure I'll plug it correctly, and hopefully it goes up in the right order as well. I don't want to mess up the order of the videos. Either way, yeah, guys, so far I've actually been enjoying this quite a lot, and this weekend we are using 107% AI for qualifying and 108 for the race, so I'm gradually building my way up. As I get better and more used to the F2 car, we're finding more and more lap times, so this is the highest we've run it so far, and I'm looking forward to it. Either way, we're going to jump into qualifying first of all, and we're going to see how we get underway. So I'm going to go on the soft tyres, and of course one shot quality, one lap. We're going to try our best and see what we can do as the lights go out. And here we go then to begin the lap at Catalonia. And briefly there, Mahavir Braganathan managed to lead briefly a qualifying session. Is going to make our way down towards turn 1, braking just before the 100-metre ball. A bit of a lock up on the front right, carrying the speed through turn 2, using the curb on the inside, and then trying to open up turn 3 as much as you can. Get off the gas a little bit and then try and focus on your exit. We run a little bit wide there onto the green stuff and don't quite optimise the exit as we now make our way down towards turn number 4. Currently at P5, now P7 briefly, making our way through turn 4, trying to get the power down as soon as we can through here. The back end wants to slip on you, and we dip a bit on the grass, getting some oversteer on the exit, and now going down the hill through turn 5. A little bit of a lock up, but we get a relatively clean exit, making our way down the hill. Currently P13 as we now make our way into this little left-right chicane for 7 and 8. Really important to get a clean exit here, which we do, and we make up all the way up to P6. Now going into turn 9. 1 little downshift and a lift, and then trying to get it flat out over the top of the hill. DRS open, and we actually lose a little bit of time there once again. Now making our way down towards the hairpin, braking just before the 100-metre board, down to first key if you need it. And again, important to get some clean traction down here and trying to avoid the curb on the right-hand side. Carry the speed over the bump, and then keep it nice and tight through this long swooping right, which will actually get a really nice line through, and we recover a bit of time as we're currently in P5, making our way down through the front of a few corners. Currently P1 now, as we briefly take the lead, making our way through the front of chicane, trying to carry the speed. We take a bit too much curb on the inside, and the exit isn't absolutely ideal, but we do get a nice bit of momentum onto the pit straight as De Vries takes it right at the end, and it's going to be P4 for us in qualifying here for Spain. And Nick De Vries, the championship leader, he snatched it right at the end, and after Sitter Camera led the entire lap, Nick De Vries snatches it right out the final corner, and by 0.08 of a second he takes pole position here at Spain, and also is going to score 4 World Championship points. So the championship leader extends his lead once again, and he comes good right when it matters the most. Meanwhile for us though, P4, a very strong qualifying to be honest, and overall the grid is really, really close. You know, from first all the way down to P14, Boccolacci, 0.6 of a second. It's extremely competitive, and it's going to make for a very interesting race here. Either way, P4 for us, and second row on the grid behind Latifi, Camera, and also Nick De Vries with Giotto and Guan Yu Zhu behind us, and no son of my teammate in the top 14. But either way, that is it for qualifying here, and we're now going to move into the feature race, part 1 of the weekend here, and hopefully we can have a good race and try and score a podium in round number 5, the Spanish Grand Prix.
Welcome to the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya here in Spain for what is expected to be a very closely contested race. Here's the venue we'll be racing at, known to the teams, well known to the drivers. Many will have raced here as teenagers. We've got 16 turns, the elevation of 30 metres, and some famous moments down through the years. Alongside me today, I'm delighted to welcome back to the commentary box the 2012 GP2 champion, Davide Valsecchi. There looks to be a challenging race ahead of the drivers today, Davide. With that in mind, what are you looking out for today?
Well, Alex, I want to see how the drivers at the back of the grid are going to roll down. They'll need to make an impact in the early stages, and they're probably hoping for a bit of luck at the start. We may see some bold maneuvers out there today.
We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. Nick de Vries starts from pole position, and it's Sergio Sette Camara in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Latifi, Correa, Luca Giotto, and Joe, Delatraz, Galeo, Aitken, Antoine Hubert, King, Schumacher, Nobuharu Matsushita, and Boccolacci, Mazepin, Ilott, Boschon, and Giuliano Alesi. Calderon, Mahavir Raghunathan starts from the back of the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Right, so here we are then on the grid for the race at Spain, more specifically the feature race starting from 4th place on the grid and on the second row, and overall not too bad actually after qualifying yesterday, and the car feels pretty good around here. I'm going to make a small adjustment though in terms of the setup, and it's more of a race specific thing, so we are going to reduce the front wing slightly by 1, as that will give us a little bit more spare straight line speed to try and compete with the cars on the straights, because the slipstream is pretty much non-existent in these cars, so you have to really work for it when it comes to making overtakes. But overall, P4 is pretty decent. I'm aiming for a podium, possibly a race win. I think the win is on the table, but we're going to see how it goes. In qualifying, we was using 107 difficulty. I'm now on 108, so a little bit harder in the race, as always. Having said that, I think, for me personally, I think a podium would be good. Nick de Vries, of course, is the championship leader. He starts from pole position, so we need to try and beat him if we can. So either way, we're going to try our best. Hopefully, it's a good one as we now get underway for round 5 of the season for the Spanish Grand Prix. Right, here we go. Building up the revs as the 5 red lights come on here at Catalunya. Lights out and away we go. Trying to control the wheel spin. Struggling a little bit in the second phase. As Luca Giotto gets past us, we also got Guan Yu Zhu behind looking for a move. Looks like no one's going to take the outside line then to turn 1, so we are going to be able to take that ourselves and take the normal racing line. Set the camera there, getting overtaken by Giotto for P3. Going through turn 3, lots of understeer. We're going to try and get the throttle down. We do get a better exit than Sette Camara. Sergio going defensive as we're going to turn number 4. We're going to try and look around the outside, but there's no space there. We're going to swing back underneath, but no way through just yet. De Vries holding on to first place, Latifi P2. Let's see if we have the pace here to possibly get a podium. Currently though, P5, not ideal. Luca Giotto getting the best start out of everybody, but it's a long race, 19 laps ahead of us, still a long way to go, so let's see how this pans out. Hopefully we'll get chances to get past the guys in front and try and recover lost positions, but either way, so far, so good. So far the pace is very similar between everybody in the top 5, and no real moves are being made. I'm just trying to readapt my driving style a little bit to the extra fuel load compared to qualifying, and hopefully I can challenge Sette Camara soon. We are starting to get a little bit closer now, so I may have a chance. Unfortunately, there's no DRS yet. It will be enabled now next time we cross the line as we take a chunk out of that final chicane and cut the corner a bit. We also get an awful exit as a consequence. Running it very wide. They're dipping a wheel on the gravel actually. That was a very poor end to the lap there, but DRS is now enabled, so let's see if that helps us out. Nick de Vries starting to open up a little bit of a gap out front. Getting some oversteer there. Trying to push really hard and close in on Sergio Sette Camara. We are doing better now, but we just can't quite get the good exit, although that was a little bit better from us through there. We are closer. We might get a chance here, running it on the limit when it comes to pushing, as we set a personal best. I am close. We are gaining. I might have a chance here. Sette Camara goes defensive into turn 1. We lock up a little bit there. I didn't quite sort out my line. I should have committed more to the outside there, but again, we're putting pressure on. Camera can feel it, which is good. A little bit wide again there, but we get a good exit. Sergio doesn't go defensive, so that's okay for us. Really starting to put the pressure on now, though. Got to try and make this count. Oh, we got a blow up in front. Luca Giotto, he's lost his power unit. And now we're right on the back of Sergio Sette Camara here. We're on the outside, it is a yellow flag zone. He just comes across under braking on us there. I have to brake on the curb. Have I got wing damage from that? No, I haven't, luckily for us, but that was not a nice move there from Sette Camara, just coming across in the braking. I was so lucky I didn't lock up, brake on the curb. I got so nervous when I got shoved out wide there. I thought I was going to go straight into the back of him. I think we did brush it, but luckily for us, it wasn't major. Let's see if we can get a good exit here. Sergio won't have DRS, I don't think, on Nicola Latifi, so we might have a chance that we get a horrible exit, but Sergio doesn't have DRS, so this is my chance to pass him. Here we go. A potential move for third place. We're gaining. Come on, let's go for this to the inside. Late on the brakes, Sergio locks up. We run it a bit hot ourselves, but we get it slowed down and we take third place. And there we go, it's a definitive move. Sergio doesn't try to re-challenge, so we're going to try and hold on to this. Running a bit wide, then picking up some understeer. Let's see if we can try and close in on the front two here. But what a lap that's been. Right, we're going to pit in this lap for the hard tyres. Struggling on these soft tyres now quite badly, to be honest with you. We are trying to close in on the front two, but we're dragging center camera with us. Looks like the front two stay out, so we are going to get a chance of an undercut here as we make our way into the pit lane. Got to get it slowed down to 60, which is quite a lot slower than usual, but there we go. Perfect entry. Looks like center camera is going to follow us in along with a few other cars. Hopefully we don't get held up here. That's the important thing. We can try and find some space, although I don't think that's going to be the case. There we go, 5.9 stop. Luckily for us, we do find a bit of space, and we're not going to get held up as we go into the hard tyres now. Let's see if we can try and have a strong outlap here and potentially undercut or reduce the gap a bit to the front two.
Look after these tyres now. We've got to finish the race on this compound.
Right, then up to speed then. I'm not expecting tons of grip from these. It is a hard tyre. Having said that, if we can switch them on, we may have a chance. Oh, getting loose there. That's dangerous, but that's going to give us a much better exit through turn 3. That we run it a bit wide. These tyres feel very cold at the minute. You never know, the front two may have been held up in the pit lane if we're lucky. If it's an unlucky day, they may have lost some time, but out the final corner, good exit. So the camera is close. Here we go then, let's see. Looks like we're nowhere near to the leaders. We've actually lost a bit of ground. As Sergio says, the camera is gaining on us here. But I think he's going to run out straight to challenge. Yes, he is. Luckily for us. So there's the front two. Looks like De Vries has actually opened up a bit more of a gap to Latifi in the process. Well, let's see if we can try and catch up to the Canadian driver, who's currently in P2. Currently in a damn sandwich at the minute. Oh, getting loose there. That was scary. Back end snapping on me. Pace is getting better now. We are closing in slightly, but Latifi seems to be the one with the true pace. He's really closing in on De Vries. I think we've got a better pace than De Vries. I'm not quite sure we've got the edge on Latifi, so hopefully the two of them battle, and that will really bring us into play and help reduce the gap we've got, which is currently 2.2 seconds. Pace is improving slightly as the fuel burns off. Fast up at the Grand Prix as well, so we are going to get that extra point for now. If I can go a little bit quicker, that'd be good for us. But we need the front two to battle. I'm slowly dropping center camera, although we have run it a bit hot the brakes there into turn 1. That's going to ruin my line through here. On for an even faster lap this time. I got faster and faster as the lap went on. 1.4 behind. We are closing in slightly, but I think we're going to run out of laps at this rate. I really do. Even better lap from us once again. We're starting to really pick up the pace. The fuel's burning off. This is good for us because it seems like we are going to solidify the extra point for the fastest lap. Oh, that was a big moment there. Too much gas. Oh, we've got DRS. There we go. We've made it. We've dropped center camera. And we're now within DRS of Latifi and De Vries. This is good for us. Feels like Latifi's also getting a move on now. He's starting to put some pressure on De Vries a little bit. So this could still happen for us now. We're all bunching up nicely. Okay, we're well and truly tucked in behind these guys now. I need to think of a way to overtake because this is going to be tricky with Latifi so close to De Vries and getting a slipstream, and DRS is going to be complicated. Not the best exit. We do improve on our fastest lap though, so we're looking good from that regard, but you can see here we're barely making a dent in terms of the gap to Latifi. Actually, he's pulling away. We do run a bit hot on the brakes. We almost run into the back of him there. We haven't got long. 4 whole laps to go, so we need to think of something. This is my first chance through here. Trying to get the momentum, getting that better exit. We are putting him under some pressure. He goes defensive. On the switchback, out of turn number 4. Not quite, we don't really get the traction down there as well as he does. But we're looking for it. Let's keep that pressure up. We're really close now. I thought about going for it into the brake zone there. That's not the best line. We cut the corner, but we get a poor exit as a consequence. trying to carry the momentum. We are closer this time, and Latifi isn't as close to De Vries for a slipstream. But I think he's just edging away from us a little bit. I'm trying to gain, but it's not going to be enough. Not close enough. This isn't like Baku where I can slam on the brakes. The AR actually okay into turn 1. Having said that, we are closer this time, going to turn 3. Going to set up that switchback of dreams. Here we are, we're on his gearbox. I'm going to try and go to the outside. This time instead of going for the switchback, I'm going to try and commit to this. Long way around. Oh, Latifi gave me the squeeze that I had to yield. He's placing his car well. If I can just get the exit through here, which I have done. This time we've got the momentum. Here we go. This is the one. Let's just tuck in here and wait. Let's be patient. Pull to the inside. We're going to lose a bit because Latifi's got the slipstream from De Vries. But here it is. It's a super late one on the brakes. A little bit hot actually. We're going to run a bit deep. Put ourselves under some pressure possibly. Latifi going back down the inside. He's trying it at turn 3, but we stay in front. Can we win this? A lap and a half to go. It's still possible. We know De Vries isn't as quick as Latifi, so this could happen. I've got to be perfect though. This may be my last chance. Oh, that's not good. Have I got DRS on De Vries? Yes, I have. But we're nowhere near close enough for a move here. We're going to have to try and find something special. I'm going to try it through turn 3. I'm going to really push the brakes here into turn 1 and then try my luck. Yes, that's perfect. We get it slowed down beautifully. Now up to turn 3, open up the line, get off the gas, floor it early. Just nowhere near close enough. I'm going to keep trying though. Closing in. Up to the second DRS zone, but we don't tend to do well through here. Turn 9 is one of my worst corners actually. And we're not really close enough. We are for a personal best though. We're not going to give up, we're going to keep trying. Maybe I can surprise him somewhere, who knows. Come on, keep pushing. A few more corners to go. Alright, I think we're done. Unfortunately, I was hoping to maybe get run into the chicane, but we're not close enough unless we absolutely get the greatest run of all time out of here, which we don't. But there we go, P2, good recovery nonetheless, and a fantastic race.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
So another fantastic victory for ART today. Tell me, Davide, what was the key to this success?
This race, this win, was about one thing and one thing only: consistency. Anyone can be quick for just one lap, but there's a difference between that and being quick every lap, over and over and over. If you can do that, if you can gain ground when your opponents make mistakes, but then not make mistakes on your own, you can just push and push.
ART, the French team who have been racing since the 90s in various forms of motorsport, are once again back on the winner's podium today after a brilliant display of driving skill.
Right, so looking at the final race results then here for the Spanish Grand Prix. Nick De Vries wins for ART ahead of ourselves in P2, and Nicola Latifi P3 rounding up the podium here today. We pick up the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, so we miss out on 5 points to Nick De Vries, but you have to consider also Nick did get pole position, which means he scored 4 extra points. Having said that, for the reverse grid race afterwards in the sprint race, we are going to be starting from P7 and Nick will be starting from P8, so hopefully we'll get the chance to claw some points back on him in that race. But so just at the camera P4 ahead of Antoine Hubert, Jordan King, Sean Galal, Louis Delatraz, Jack Aitken and Mick Schumacher running at the point scorers here today. Missing out the points we have Matsushita, Boccolacci, Guan Yuju, Calamilo, Alesi, Boschung, Roganathan, Mazepin, Tatiana Calderon, and then Luca Giotto, the only retirement of the Grand Prix here today. In terms of the standings though, after that race, as you can see, we currently sit in P2, pretty comfortable comfortably ahead of Sete Camera, 12 points ahead of him, and 13 behind Nick De Vries. So we're kind of in a bit of a mid spot here, not really closer to anybody, and we need to try and close that gap to Nick as soon as we can, because I want to try and take the lead in the championship if possible. But in terms of the team standings, we are currently in third place. We overtake Univirtuosi Racing, as obviously the retirement from Kyoto and Guan Yu Zhu not scoring points means we managed to overturn the deficit. But Dams are still pretty convincingly fastest and the best team out front there, 24 points clear of ART, and Latifi and Seta Camera probably going to be very hard to beat, to be honest. But either way, guys, that is going to be it for this episode of Career Mode here today. If you guys enjoyed it, drop a like and subscribe if you are new, guys, for daily Formula 1 and Formula 2 content. And also check out these two videos on your screen if you have missed them. But later on today, guys, I will upload the sprint race, so keep your eyes peeled for that one. But until then, guys, it's goodbye from me.